to Kervanına. It's pretty lively here. So, just past this wall is the... Oh, wow. Paimon remembers hearing people call this the Wall of Samiel. It's made to block sandstorms from the outside.
Enough gawking. Come on, follow me.
Huh?
Over here.
Oh, Haytham went that way! Let's hurry up and follow him. Wonder what he's up to.
What the... Where did he go? How did we lose them? They were just here a second...
More Eremite mercenaries? Who are they working for this time?
You were too careless. You should have noticed those hopeless amateurs. There's no need to thank me. I've never cared to keep track of personal favor. All I did was correct a mistake I happened to come across. It's a habit I...
You really gave Paimon a scare, Al-Haytham. We never thought we'd run into you here. Last time we met at Port Ormos, didn't you say you were going back to the Academia? Wait.
Oh, so you've already landed yourselves on the Academia's hit list. However, had I wished to turn you over to the Academia, don't you think you'd already...
Oh, right. You do have a...
I have no interest in running errands for that project. As a scholar, I've always belonged to the camp that... And these days, you're more fascinating than any... Not quite. To tell you the truth, I'm still investigating. Everyone says the capsule originated in the desert and was eventually moved to Port Ormos. If I am to get to the bottom of this, I must understand how... Which brings me back to you, and why you're so interesting. The leader of Ain al-Ahmar used the Divine Knowledge Capsule right in front of you, and upon seeing him, your expression became perplexed, and you were lost in thought for quite some time. To have that kind of reaction, I think you must have...
Al-Haytham, you really have a ridiculous...
So that's your answer. Well, I do work for the Academia, but that does prove you do have some undisclosed information. No matter. Rather than...
That's right! We have the same plan as you! But...
Then I'd suggest starting with Aru Village. It's the largest settlement in the desert, so it'll probably have more reason.
It's always better to travel with someone you know. Let's go!
Before us lies Aru Village, the safe haven of the desert folk.
Whoa, this landscape is really so... Wow!
Sino. Unless my memory fails me, we have barely spoken 2 words to each other before now at the Academia. Would you care to enlighten me as—
Oh, Haytham. Do not think you can escape my judgment, just because you managed to escape my attack.
Judgment? So that's how you'd characterize your actions here, is it? Or would elimination perhaps be a more accurate description?
Had I used my full strength, not even this traveler would have been able to stop me. Though styled like an assassination, I sought only to ensure that my target would be unable to flee or resist. Standard practice for the mantra as well.
Seemed to me more like your own personal touch.
Who is that, Al-Haytham? Did you...
Yes. General Mahamatra Sino, head of all the Matra at the Academia. He's a formidable hunter, and the ultimate nightmare for any who have committed act.
You seem to have placed a lot of trust in Al-Haytham, to the point of blocking an attack for him. If I were you, I'd never choose to side with him. I have been pursuing this scribe for a long time. I urge you, stand back and do not seek to defend him any longer.
Has Al-Haytham done something wrong? Paimon doesn't think he's as bad as you...
I won't waste my breath explaining things. Al-Haytham, I saw it during our fight. Take it out. The divine knowledge capsule you're hiding on your person.
Very perceptive of you. Nothing escapes him.
Wait, the divine knowledge capsule? Didn't it fall into the Matra's hands in Port Ormos?
No wonder you speak with such confidence, Sino. But I must admit, I'm very curious. And why, as General Mahamatra of the Academia, are you all alone in the desert? As far as I'm aware, the other Matra have been speculating. Have you been given a mission that's, let's say, morally dubious? If I was the real target of your mission, what was stopping you from simply using your authority and resources to...
I should have known you'd be difficult to deal with.
You two? Ugh. What should we do, Traveler?
Ahem. Well, look at you two, acting all tough and self-righteous over there.
Wait, Dia? Great! Finally, someone that we can trust! You gotta help us out here. Otherwise, these two are...
Yeah, sure looks that way. Two giants from the Academia duking it out once and for all. Not something you get to see every day, that's for sure. Listen, I know you academic types love to fill up your big brains with self-righteous morality and lord your... But how dare you bring your petty disputes into the safe haven of Aru Village? It seems like someone's gonna have to beat some sense into your thick... Hey, did either of you hear a word?
Whoa, what's going on? The wind's...
Another sandstorm? What's up with these recently?
Hey! All of you, over here, quickly! We have to take...
Someone's calling for us! Oh,
That sounded like Candace. Come on, you two. Jeez, are all of...
All right, stop yelling.
Well... Hey, wanna play sardines with three people who wanna tear each other limb from limb? Sure. The air is so thick and heavy. Paimon can hardly keep floating anymore.
My sincere apologies, everyone. This is the home of our village chief. I will have to ask you to make do with this small room until the sandstorm dies down. Please, let me introduce myself. I am Candace, protector of Aru Village.
Our savior has come at... Nice to meet you, Candace. The name's Paimon. Thank you so much for help...
There's no need to thank me. It's only right to help each other when the weather...
Wow. She's so gentle and caring. Like a nice older...
All right. Now that we're all better acquainted, as a guardian charged with the responsibility to protect my fellow villagers from harm, and now that you have set foot within Aru Village itself, it is all the more my responsibility to... So please, have an honest and sincere conversation with one another. If anyone dares to start anything again while they are under this roof, I will not hesitate to send them out for some quality...
Oh! On second thought...
And that goes for you too, Miss Dia. Do I make myself clear?
All right, we got it.
That...
I was supposed to be a mediator, but I might have gotten a little too involved just now.
Wait! That was you trying to be...
I have nothing to hide, so there's no shame in explaining myself. While Al-Haytham wasn't wrong about the other Matra not knowing my whereabouts, it's not because I've been assigned a morally dubious mission. Rather, I've chosen to exile myself.
Huh?
A little while ago, I discovered that there was data missing in the Academia's project planning and development files. As General Mahamatra, I had the responsibility and authority. I tried to investigate the issue myself before submitting a formal audit request. But I began to realize that they were... Unsurprisingly, the Grand Sage rejected my audit request as soon as the submission... The power of the General Mahamatra is granted by the Sages.
So they really...
I realized then that to the Grand Sage, the Matra are nothing more than the vows that we took, the principles that we strive to uphold. They are meaningless. I believed it would be wise to flee the Academia before the Sages had a chance. I will never give up on this investigation. There's no need for someone else to give...
Sino seems to have the same goal as us. We're all investigating this. Plus, now that he's no longer the General Mahamatra, he somehow feels a... Well, Sino, if that's your story, then why did you see all...
When I was investigating the matter in the Academia, I overheard a conversation between all... The Sages asked you to investigate a blonde-haired traveler. Do you dispute this, Al-Haytham?
What?
Like many parts of the project, this assignment was undocumented. Now throw in your
Yes. I was indeed tasked with investigating the Traveler.
Al-Haytham!
After all, the promised reward was so great that hardly any scholar could have refused. The sage told me, once you've completed this assignment...
A most enticing offer.
Unfortunately, those academics don't know me at all. Their words contained one key piece of information, namely that divine knowledge indeed exists. From my perspective, the sages are far from trustworthy. Think about it. Isn't it a little strange they're so... So, I began my own investigation following the lead of the divine knowledge capsule. In the end, I realized my wisdom... Had I been less guarded, I probably would have ended up like that Ain al-Ahmar mercenary.
You mean that the sages originally planned to dispose of you?
I'd already given up on the assignment by then. I only told the Academia I was waiting in Port Ormos for you to appear, so it came as quite a surprise when I encountered my erstwhile target while investigating the divine...
Criminals do love to talk about coincidences.
Even though I ran into the Traveler by chance, I had no intention of providing assistance to the Academia. Also, you should remember, you were the ones who decided to follow me and strike up a conversation after I left that tavern.
That's true. Al-Haytham helped us out at Caravan Rebat as well. Maybe he's telling the truth.
I'm willing to apologize, if that's worth anything to you. I took the Divine Knowledge Capsule behind your back because I judged its existence to be a significant risk. I felt that it would be best for no one to interact with it before it... After all, curiosity often proves to be the most dangerous...
You should be well aware, Scribe Al-Haytham, that curiosity can also lead you to danger and suspicion. Answer me this. Did the sages share any information about their project with...
Have I not made myself clear? You and I are both distrusted by the Academia. Do you really think they would tell me anything?
Fine. Although you haven't completely proven your innocence, I won't regard you as an enemy.
As you wish.
Good. I'm glad to see you two clearing up your misunderstandings. And now you, Dia.
Oh, sorry. Whatever the boys were talking about must have been... My situation is pretty straightforward. I had nothing going on, so I decided to return to Aru village for a visit. But then I saw these two random guys in the middle of a pointless argument.
Is that all? Well, I will admit that
That's more like it. I missed you all so much, Candace.
Whoa! What was that sound?
No need to worry. Now that you're no longer at each other's throats, please make yourselves at home.
Creatures? In the sand?
Fighting in a sandstorm is not for the faint-hearted.
Yeah, just leave him to Candace. Don't worry, she's as
The winds died down. That Candace still isn't back yet, though. Is she?
When you put it that way, even I'm starting to feel a little worried. All right, let's...
There is no escape!
Ooh, Candace, you're still fighting? You've been out here dealing with.
Yes. They just keep coming in waves. I've lost count of how many.
Ah! Here comes another wave!
Leave this round to us.
It's been quite a while since I've seen.
I'll be sure to put on a good show. Let's go!
Shine down!
Bow your head.
Here comes another wave! When are they ever gonna let up? The creature stopped appearing. Was that the last?
What we fought just now was probably the aftermath of the sandstorm.
Well fought, everyone. No injuries, I hope.
Huh? Who are you?
Ah, my apologies. I haven't had a chance to greet you yet. I had my hands I am the chief of Aru village. Everyone usually...
Sir, I am also originally from the desert, but I have not been back for...
I can't say they've always been common. Besides sandstorms.
Another effect of Irminsul's withering. So, Irminsul's withering causes withering zones.
Everything in the natural world is inextricably connected to Irminsul. These regional symptoms can indeed...
Everyone in Aru village speaking of which, why...
Village Keeper? Who are they? Village...
Does your curiosity know no bounds? Village Keeper is how Aru village refers to... Most of them are scholars who lost their sanity. After a period, the academia believes that they're
Alas, that's exactly what we've been trying to... But no one in the village has ever seen...
I've had encounters with those people in the past.
The Matra are the ones responsible for their exile. Now that you're no longer with them, are you...
Mock me if you will, but if you are guilty, I will eliminate you, regardless of my position or identity.
Oh, you're the former General Mahamatra. You must be an ex...
Is it because you're reminded of Hypatia? But, is it really a good idea to tag along with...
I'll be grateful for the assistance. No doubt you will do a better... Let's start by finding a spot to share what we know. Although I've sent myself into exile, I'm still doing essentially this. Do you still have any questions for me before we start our investigation? One of my former subordinates told me that this title has its origin. The academia has long exiled mad scholars to Aru village. When mad scholars first arrive, initially, the people of Aru village was struck by the strongest earth. Suddenly, he noticed a mad scholar crouching in a despite the powerful tremors that ripped through the ground that night. After that, the people of Aru village treated the mad scholar.
The soft green light? Paimon thinks so too. Actually, Sino, do you know if any of the mad scholars continued to wear...
In theory, they would continue with...
Oh, no wonder!
If you are able to draw a conclusion... So, what do you make... Really?
What? You don't believe us? Lesser Lord Kusanali was definitely using the...
No, It's not so much that I don't believe you. Lesser Lord Kusanali, the current Dendro, the Academia has always placed far great. In addition,
No way! Negative!
I've spent many years interrogating.
Good! Then you should know that we're...
That look in your eyes. How can this be? To think, our Archon has been amongst us this entire time.
Alright, now it's our turn to put our... But easier said than done.
Excuse me, are you...
Huh?
By the sounds of it, a resident of this village.
My name is Isak.
Is your grandpa a mad scholar?
Hey, don't say that. Grandpa is just
The person you're referring to is not a local.
Grandpa is just Grandpa. I heard everything you said to the...
Ah, so you're the one. I was planning to go out and...
Whoa. Oh, Hatham wasn't kidding about Matra having sharp senses. Sino, he's just a kid. All he wants is to find his...
Sorry, I was only listening in because I wanted to know where Grandpa...
All right. But first...
Sino is super vigilant.
Ah, you're back already.
We just wanted to confirm something with you. Do you know a boy by the name of...
I had a feeling he'd go looking for you.
Huh? You knew this would happen?
Yes. Although he tried his best to stay hidden, Isak's parents were both Aramite mercenaries who rarely returned to the village after finding him. Unfortunately, it was only a few years before his grandpa passed away. Isak was still very... Later, an elderly mad scholar arrived at the village. Isak... However, the scholar was unkempt in appearance and incoherent. One summer night, So Grandpa walked up to Isak, and the next morning, Isak woke up and wanted to go find his... It's said that those who saw the scholar claimed he no longer appeared to be crazy. Isak was thrilled that his grandpa...
All this somehow just makes Paimon feel really sad. It seems...
Perhaps. It's also my reason for fighting.
Maybe the people have always had a considerate god watching.
Huh? What did you say?
No, nothing. As long as...
Perhaps you are more compassionate than I gave you credit for.
Hey, Isak!
Oh, it's you, God.
We've cleared everything up. Let's go find your grandpa.
Really? Yeah.
All right. Let's ask...
Excuse me, did you happen to see...
You mean the village keepers? When I was eating dinner,
Okay.
anything else?
The scholars that have gone missing.
Those eyes. Those fierce eyes.
Don't change the subject.
Right. You were asking about the mad scholars. But honestly, I feel...
Do you also think Grandpa and the other...
Grandpa? Oh, hello there. It's little... He was actually... It still feels pretty... Well, whatever the case.
Gotcha. Thank you. sir, had...
Oh, well, if it is... The last time I saw... And speaking of...
Oh, thank you.
It was nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's no good. I've known you since you were very...
Wow, what an...
Okay.
Huh? Don't say anything for now. Isak, let's head over there. Listen, see if you can make out what they're saying.
Have you heard? The mighty King Deshret, the sovereign of our faith, will soon return to this world.
Yes, of course I have. King Deshret is the one and only true ruler of this land. Still, you say he's...
Haven't you noticed? The village has been getting... Delavar was saying that many people also went insane just before the fall of Isn't it a sign of King Deshret?
Huh. No.
Exactly.
Now, repeat everything you've just said from the very beginning.
Huh?
Who are you?
My patience is running thin. You heard what I asked.
Yeah! Bro, this guy's something else. Just look at his eyes.
Let's not get on his bad side, okay? I am no match for this.
Oh, okay, good sir. What is it you would like to know?
Tell me about King Desh.
Well, I only know a few things from hearsay. I went for a drink the other day, and her...
Hey, go on.
It's true. It's all true, sir. We desert folk have had more than enough of the... Would you want to live like this if you were in our place? Delavar also said that once King Deshret returns to...
Is that so?
Seems like he still wants to know more.
Got it. Please don't beat me up.
The people here really like King Deshret, but dislike the den...
Where is this radical person?
I haven't run into him over the past few days, so he...
No, not at all. We wouldn't dare.
Sounds like you're not too close with the radical.
No, of course not. All we know...
I have many ways to stop you from... So you'd best just stay home and hope I don't hear of you trying to contact anybody. Don't do anything until I've gotten to the bottom of this. Try something foolish, and even Candace won't be able to protect you.
Yes, got it. We'll do just as you...
That scared Paimon half to death. Sino is pretty terrified. He didn't try to reassure us at all.
I heard that.
Sorry.
It's part of being a Matra. The rumor we heard just now seems like a strong lead. Very well.
Isak!
I'm here.
Where's your grandpa's house?
Well, I can take you there.
Join the Eremites and embrace a wonderful new life.
There is no escape! Ha!
Yeah, right!
Grandpa? Oh, he likes to be alone. Sometimes he stares at the sky in a daze, and other times he just pokes at the ground with his fingers. Every now and then, he yells out at the top of his lungs, so a lot of people are really scared of him. But he's a good person, really. I know he is. I swear, he's just like my real grandpa. Oh, this is where Grandpa used...
There sure isn't much here.
No.
Incense? But are you okay?
There's a scent that you can sense, but I can't.
A certain traveler here once passed out from that smell. Thankfully, Tainari saved the day.
So, you know Tainari?
Huh? You know him too? Are you...
Yes. Now that I concentrate.
Wait, surely Tainari didn't lecture you too.
No. No need. Did you first encounter this scent at Tainari's house? In the forest.
What are you looking for, son?
Here it is. Take a look right here.
Paimon?
Although the traces have been completely buried in the sand from the size and shape, they belong to an adult male. This pattern, the scent is quite faint, but still extant.
But who would come looking for Grandpa?
We'd have to ask whoever lured him away with the
Huh? So you can lure some— Hey! What's wrong with—
Exactly. Even deep within the clutches of Matt.
No.
So, someone's taking advantage of their— Are the rumors really true? Could the disappearance of all the—
It's highly likely.
Please, you have to save my Grandpa.
Sounds like we'd better help get him back.
Let's head to Aru Village and inform Candace and the others about what we learned here.
Right. The darker fabric definitely...
We're back, Candace! We've got a lot to tell—
Ah, welcome back.
Sounds like everyone.
Oh, Dia's here!
You bet. So, everything.
Reasonably.
Alhaitham didn't go.
We haven't seen him at all.
Huh. I saw him around the village entrance earlier and figured he was investigating.
Did you find out anything useful? I see. So someone you...
The resurrection of King Deshret? First I've heard of it. Far as I know, the kind of incense you just mentioned is only popular beyond the wall. Scholars are fond of it, but as you can see, there aren't many scholars still studying around these parts. No, not to mention making incense is a labor and it seems someone from beyond the wall must—
Makes sense.
So what should we do then? Do we—
If it was any other day, that would be your next logical step. But today, you've got me on your team. So didn't you say that the villager got his news?
If Paimon remembers correct—
Ah, yeah. Delavar, the scar-riddled bandit, Enger, the wide-eyed butcher. These guys have one thing in common, and that's being broke. The rougher life gets, the more they want to believe in King Deshret. Way they see it, King Deshret's resurrection is their— Throwing all of Sumeru into chaos is the only way to change the way of life here.
Tia! You're amazing! You
really— No merc can afford to slack off on gathering it.
Let's head out.
Now hold on, you're staying right here.
Why?
Aru Village is not a big place. Outsiders stand out here like a sore thumb. I'd bet word about you has already gotten out. The desert is unforgiving, so the way of life here is also a lot tougher. Compared to you, mercs like me are just third-rate amateurs. I've got no actual fighting. I need to go around and ask some questions, but it'll... Good, then we've got a plan. The Traveler and Paimon will go to Caravan Rebot with me.
All right! Sounds like a plan! Well, here we are again.
Sounds like you're starting to get familiar with the area.
Paimon's amazed every time.
I know what you mean. I had the same question every time I... Also, why is this high wall here? And can a wall It was only after I grew up that I realized. The wall of Sumeru is run by wise and mighty sages. To them, we're cheap labor, like livestock, but even if a child from the desert got the chance to obtain an Akasha terminal, almost all their requests for knowledge would be denied. Geniuses like Sataria are 1 in a million.
That's terrible.
I would tear down this wall with my own hands if I could.
Hey, Dia.
No, not at all. Besides, we're here to
Yep, we gotta catch those.
Shh! Caravan Rebot is crawling with people, so be careful what you say. Our mission started the moment we arrived. Let's go check out the tavern. Maybe we'll find someone. Just our luck. None of them are here to.
You mean, you don't see anyone you.
Dia, is that you? What a coincidence. You're here for.
Zaki.
Oh, and who do you have with you here? Guests from another land? Hello, hello. I'm
We've had drinks together a few times. Anyway, as far as my friends here, they aren't too shabby, are they?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Have you seen Edgar, Delavar, or...
Of course I have. Matter of fact, we were all here.
I've got a spice trading deal from another nation.
Ah, how thoughtful of you.
Hey, keep it down. Let's just say I prefer to keep this deal as...
Yes, how considerate of you.
Are we there yet?
Yep,
This place is practically deserted. What are they doing in a place like this?
Why don't you take a guess? Go on.
Oh no! It's an ambush!
What's this all about, Zaki?
Come on, Dia. You really think we didn't hear about what you said back in Aru village? The boys have kept... Not only do I know that you're looking...
So, you've been watching us from the...
Uh-oh. I'm a new leaving Sino...
And you left the strongest one in the village, didn't you? Who do you think you are?
So you and Delavar have been partners all along.
But you got one thing.
If that's the case, then
I'll be honest with you. If it weren't for what you said in the village, your little monologue about the Wall of Samiel would have...
Delavar. And Edgar, you're here too, huh?
Long time no see.
Dia, I thought that you...
Yeah, gee, what a missed opportunity. Adopting radical views and kidnapping innocent scholars, all because of some baseless rumors. Anything else I'm missing out on?
See? There you have it.
You're not wrong. Mercenaries are driven by Mora, and my faith lies...
Enough talking! Get him!
Just as I expected. Let's teach him a lesson, traveler.
Following orders. New punching bag.
Shine down!
Silence!
Impossible! How could you?
So, what do you think about your meticulous network now, Zaki? How did you say it? It's only natural for a traveling mercenary like me to be out of the loop. I'm guessing your informant told you that I'm just an incompetent merc with no real fighting skills, correct? I mean, that is what I said after all. And of course you would believe everything even though you heard we went to handle monsters together. That so-called flame mane is just that's what you thought, right? And you were stupid enough to fall for it. I figured as much the first time we drank together. Okay.
Whoa! So you've been planning this since we were in Aru...
No task can be done without preparation. I just happened to notice a couple suspicious-looking...
Oh, but instead of catching them right away...
Those two who were snooping around were just...
Oh, You mean the funny name?
That's just a bunch of drunk talk. Edgar and Delavar like to talk themselves up when alcohol has a way of making people share.
What about Zaki?
He's just a numbskull who fell right into our trap. Zaki was probably the best hidden of them all. My initial plan was to find... That's what you wanted to ask when we were...
Wait, so he's a radical
No, he isn't.
Wow, what a...
Ah, you're too kind.
So, that...
About what?
About how mercenaries only care about Mora. And that any...
Does that bother you? What makes you so sure?
Dia, do you dislike the Dendro Archon like the other desert folk?
You two are pretty sharp. No, I don't have anything against the Dendro Archon. I've heard a lot of nice things about the Lesser Lord from Dunyarzad. I can understand her devotion. Dunyarzad's just an ordinary person. There's no way a god would be so involved. I've begun to realize that the sage... But I see through it all. And unlike...
Dia...
Anyway, looks like we're done with business here. Traveler, lend me... This should be all of them. I'll let you...
All right. I'll be in touch.
Candace, do you need any help?
Candace will be okay on her own. I trust her, so she's been guarding Aru Village for quite some time now.
While I'm questioning them, why don't you...
I'll meet you back here tomorrow morning, Traveler. As for these idiots, let's just...
Hey, Dia!
Right on time. Well,
Paimon's been wondering. You seem to know Candace pretty...
We've known each other for some time now. She's a pretty interesting person. Even though she's an extremely strong warrior, she never misuses...
Oh, Paimon knows what you mean. Like a lot of martial...
Yep, I guess you can put it. Us mercs, on the other hand, we...
Well, Paimon thinks you're great, too.
Really? Thanks for that.
Oh, Sino's here, and he's pretty...
Yes. I was here yesterday to help out a little.
To help out? By doing what?
Sharing some interrogation techniques.
Oh, you mean you taught
Right.
Come on in, everyone.
Come on, let's go inside.
Candace, where... Whoa, you look furious.
Do I?
Oh, there's no mask that can hide true bloodlust.
Perhaps I need to work on my composure. Still, it's perfectly understandable why I'm angry.
Yes. Please, don't beat us anymore.
Well, looks like Sino taught her well.
You fear death yourselves. Yet you do not hesitate to place the lives of the ones you call mad scholars are known to us as the Village Keepers. They are vital members of our community. You come here, to my village, and you treat my people as nothing more than stepping...
Mercy!
You've made your bed.
We may all be desert dwellers, but there's one thing that I understand better than you. The people of Aru Village care little about which god. A war would only cause us to lose.
We understand. I'll tell you everything I know, please.
I'm listening.
You might not believe this, but it wasn't us who came up with this idea. Some mystery man told us that mad scholars will make the perfect sacrifice.
They're called village keepers. Slip up again.
Yes, sorry. It was all that mystery man's doing. He told us to spread the word about King Deshret's resurrection and talked us into helping him. I'm not...
That's one.
Huh? One what?
Strike. You get a total of 3. Then...
Wait, I'm telling the truth. We don't know anything.
2.
He got us to lure them out of their houses in the night with some kind of incense. You gotta believe me, please. I'm telling the truth, I swear.
That was indeed the truth. Traveler, go on.
You have to believe me. If I knew that, I would have told you. That guy, he wears a cloak, and he's always careful to...
I believe I may know what's going on.
Uncle Anpu.
Smooth.
Okay, speak.
If my suspicions are correct, this Some time ago, people from the academia attempted to take the village. It strikes me now that this
Which means it's highly likely that the academia was purposely spreading a false... They were the ones who brought them here to be...
Not the academia again.
Just as I thought. But what could they want with the village keepers?
People are nothing but tools in the eyes of the academia. At changing their... Regardless. Our top...
You're right. Isaka, time to go. Let's leave the village and...
Yes.
You got it. Candace, I'll...
All right.
Let's meet back here once everyone... Let's get some food in us and then we'll... Whoa! Where did you come from?
Well, as you can see...
You were gone for ages! And now you're suddenly sitting here mute... Hey! What's with the silence?
You never think things through before asking questions.
Paimon's so mad! Paimon's gonna give you an ugly... There's just nothing super obvious to pick with this guy.
Well, you've heard nothing to suggest I left this whole time. Anyway, you plan to leave Aru Village and keep searching for the truth.
Yep. We're not gonna find out anything more by staying here. Enough with the silent treatment!
No. I'm just surprised that you decided to team up with him.
All Hatham. You haven't helped us out at all ever since we arrived at Aru Village. Bold of you to question our choice.
Yeah, you're all talk.
While you were investigating, I had my own work to do.
Really? Paimon does...
To be honest, we aren't really a team, so I have no obligation to inform you. Not to mention that going separate ways allowed me to find some important information.
Huh? Right here in the village?
Correct.
What did you learn?
I'm going to take you to someone. But before that,
What does that mean?
how do you think the residents of Aru Village feel about what we're doing? In other words, do you truly believe every single...
You mean, some of them lie?
Hiding the truth does not necessarily equate to lying. Remember what Candace said? Most people in Aru Village don't necessarily care which deity is in charge of Sumeru. By contrast, the perils of their daily lives are ever-present concern. Glad you're following along. Among those you have talked to, there's someone who was consciously keeping you out of the loop. In fact, she's been observed. The reason being, to someone who only wants to live...
Those eyes. Those fierce eyes.
Don't change the subject.
It's quite obvious that she's intimidated by Sino's authority.
Right. You were asking about the I mean...
She corrected herself mid-sentence because she's aware that there are King Deshret fanatics in the village. If she sounds too friendly towards the village keepers...
I think it's been a few days since I last saw them. I usually go to bed pretty...
Remember? She made a point of denying her involvement in anything...
But honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though
After speaking to the village chief, it became clear that the village keepers had protected Aru village at night. In other words, the young miss...
Then why would she lie?
By getting involved with an outsider, she risks drawing unwanted attention to herself.
I'll pass on this one. You said that she is afraid of me. If so, it's best if I stay out of this.
We're on it!
Miss Shawnee, as we discussed earlier...
Mr. Alhaitham, I'm aware of where you stand, but...
Huh? What do you mean? We need to clarify our stance or something?
Go ahead and talk to her. You'll get the answers you want. Go on.
Is it really that simple?
May I call you Traveler? Hi, Traveler. I want to ask you, do you think the resurrection of King Deshret can truly change Sumeru for the better? Why's that? That's very similar to what Miss Candace says. I know you two are friends. That's why I'm willing to talk before. I would, Traveler, do you believe our lives will get...
Yeah! We came here from another nation, so it isn't wrong of you to be weary. But even so, we've met lots of... We have friends in Sumeru, and we want to help them. That's why we decided to stay here for...
I want to trust you. My apologies for posing my questions like that.
Alhaitham told us you have your reasons. It's okay.
The fact is that I'm... only one. Some believe in the Dendro Arc.
Speaking of which, the radicals meant...
Yeah. Some people can be so narrow-minded when it... Slowly, I just stopped talking to people, and then it happened.
You can tell them. I'm sure he'll keep your secret.
All right. I'll tell you what I told... I actually have a sharper sense of hearing than most. Perhaps. I'm not sure. It's faint, but it's definitely the It used to be louder and more frequent.
I confirmed this with the guards on night duty. They also have someone with a good ear, and he's heard similar, but because we're in the middle of a desert, he would rather believe...
There's really nothing around these parts, except for an old hospital not...
I think they used to use it for treating Elazar.
Yeah, let's go! Monsters! Watch out!
Bow your head.
Shine down!
Stabilize! Silence!
Easier to deal. Super strong bandit? He looks super serious. We gotta stay on our A game too.
This is the one. Let's go in and take a look. Patience. Shawnee says she only hears the crying at night. We have time to burn. Until then, I'm taking a break.
And just like that, he sits down. What are you reading? Let Paimon...
Okay, sure.
Huh? The natural position, which is the positional
So,
Oh, Paimon gives up. You keep reading your book. See ya! How is he so relaxed? Look at him, reading an impossible book in a creepy place. Hey! Paimon's your Tibet travel guide. And anyway, so Paimon... Paimon's getting so sleepy. Huh? What was that sound?
there it is. It's coming from that direction.
Is the sound coming from here? Huh. Paimon's not seeing anything.
It's from below.
But there's no...
Something is off about the interior here. As I thought, there's a hidden...
Wow. It's like they tucked it... Oh, it looks like there are other men...
I cannot help but feel that you bringing me here is some sort of an assassination attempt.
Like a lamb to the slaughter.
I'll be back. Gather!
There is no escape!
Settle down!
Coming through!
Stabilize! Yeah!
Happy to oblige. Shine down! That's that!
Coming through! Look! There's... Good idea! Let's approach...
Wait. You're...
He can't speak, and his... Also, why is he
Didn't expect to see him here.
You know him?
He's Razak, a senior of mine at the Academia.
He's a scholar too? Is he the kind of...
No. And that's... Razak was never involved in any of those things. He never... Leaving that question aside for the moment, looks like they've already taken everyone away. For whatever reason, they left Razak here. There are drag marks on the ground. They're clearer by the doorway. Someone was forcefully drawing a...
Loaded with...
That is one possibility. It looks like they were in a hurry. The symptoms are identical.
Huh?
Allow me to jog your memory. Recall your... Don't you think his symptoms look familiar?
Oh! Now that you mention it,
Correct. The Academia is behind. It isn't difficult to deduce their rationale. First, the Academia spread a false These rumors were all the persuasion that the radicals, as well as being able to life for the desert dwellers has been... Many would give everything they have for... Even if complications arise, people will... The notion of an Academia plot...
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. But there's still one very important question.
Throughout this process, one thing... First, they were scholars. Then, they became lunatics. After that, they were... An exile is still patently... If you can't find someone, you have no...
Resource?
One possibility is that the
Extracted?
With the technology of the Sumeru Act, perhaps the process caused...
So, the human brain...
I'm the Academia scribe, after all. Anyway, judging by Razak's state, or perhaps his curiosity got the better of him. And
Hyman's a little confused. Can they just use any...
The look on your face tells me you've realized the answer. That's right. However, I can't help... The Academia is going out of their... I've spent quite some time trying to analyze...
You mean you're not even slightly...
All scholars seek to expand, extracting information from people as if they were...
Sounds like you're really against all...
Of course. Whether it be academics or not, this matter needs to be corrected.
Wait! Didn't you step in...
Not to be callous, but no. There is no shortage of suffering in Sumeru.
Probably not.
You can say that. The Divine Knowledge Capsule is something...
wanting to say this for a while. There are a lot of bad guys in the academia, but you're not one of them.
Though I must say, I quite enjoy this feeling. Uniqueness is also an asset, is it not?
Wow, that's a great way to think about it. Paimon's really
I'm just a more likable person than her in general. He won't last long if we leave him here. We'll work out our next step after we...
We're back!
You must be tired.
What's the situation?
Unfortunately, somebody who's too young to take on the role of Isak's grandfather.
So, at one point in time...
Yep, pretty much!
Their plan must have been implemented at some point before we arrived at Aru village. Yet... they've...
We may have a mole in our midst. One of us could be secretly revealing our whereabouts.
Huh? Are our friendships that shallow?
Looks like none of you have realized wherein lies the issue. Sino, you're the reason why they can predict our movements.
Wait, what's that supposed to mean?
Choose your next words very carefully.
It is simply a logical inference. I have my reasons.
So what you're saying is... interesting. And here I thought you were the most suspicious one, Al-Haytham. Since you're...
I know. You have a point. But I realized something as we were returning from the hospital. Sino isn't like any of us.
What are you trying to say?
Do you still remember who you are, General Mahamatra? As a Matra, you are no doubt privy to certain kinds of information. Before you can take action, simply put, the academia has traditionally allowed you access to a wealth of sensitive information. If you want to raise a vicious wolf, you need to make sure that you can avoid its bite.
The academia is monitoring me?
It's not that simple. The academia has eyes all over Sumeru, but they have a special protocol. Every so often comes a Nyagarbaha Day. On this day, the academia enters new information into the Akasha through knowledge capsules. I remember seeing the thick notebook next to the control.
You're saying that the academia entered my information into the Akasha, but what's the point in doing that? My actions...
The Akasha is capable of The Akasha's algorithms are entirely capable of predicting your movements using the data entered. When you would...
It predicted my every move.
The academia has been watching you longer than you think. However, the fact that you resigned is proof that they're...
So that's how it is. Sino adheres to his principle. Tenacity of will and steadfast faith are worthless to the academia. They need scholars who are easily pliable. Sino, don't take it to heart. This just proves how much of a trust...
They escaped because of...
Don't blame yourself. It's not like any of us would have known.
I have an idea. If they predicted my movements, then I might be able to guess where they went.
Whoa, you bounced back.
There is always an opportunity for safety after...
Oh, so that's how it is! If the academia is trying to avoid Sino, then the safest place... Yep, that's right!
They'll want to proceed in the direction opposite of where I'm going. I must go.
There's also something I want to investigate.
Guys, wait! I want to go...
You want to go too?
I want to find Grandpa. I promise.
Everyone, I leave him in your hands.
Yay! Let's go! Paimon feels like we're... So, where do we go from here?
Yes. After leaving the village, we should head straight toward the desert.
I know the desert like the back of my hand.
Is that because you play here a lot?
Yep. One time, Grandpa almost got lost in the desert, but I was the one who brought him back.
There's something here. What's this?
It's buried in the sand. Looks like we'll need to roll up our sleeves and do some work.
And Paimon thought running around everywhere was already enough work. Okay.
These are likely fragments of an Academia-developed device. Looks like there were more than one Let's split up and search the area.
Is this what we're searching for?
This is definitely a device used to extract divine knowledge.
How did it end up buried in the sand? They must have been attacked along the way.
Wait, what?
Grandpa, I hope you're okay.
Don't worry, your grandpa's gonna be...
Razak didn't display any signs of starvation.
We should be able to catch up.
One more thing. I believe the attack must have happened prior to the sandstorm.
Let's keep going. They can't have gone far.
Ugh, but running on sand is so tiring!
But you're flying, aren't you, Paimon? Is flying over sand tiring too?
Ugh, of course it is!
Voices, over there. It sounds like an argument.
Whoa, you have really good ears!
Don't get any closer. They'll notice us.
Dia's talking with the Eremites? Very interesting. Let's listen in.
If you had informed me sooner, there'd be plenty of room for us to...
You're one of us. We would never lie.
Scholars. You don't know as much as I do.
I knew it.
Dia? Why would you... Dia!
Hey, what are you doing?
Huh?
Didn't you say you'd help me find Grandpa?
Well, look who's...
This complicates things.
You've betrayed Aru village?
So, this is the great General Mahamat. Dear, you'd be better off as my assistant than hanging around with this motley crew. Seen for yourself.
I'm not the type that's easily swayed, Raman. You of all people shouldn't...
Wait, what's going on, Dia? Whose side are you on here?
Shut it, Paimon.
It doesn't matter. Whichever side you pick, nothing can deter us from the grand mission of
Face the facts, Raman. It's not gonna happen. You should understand that more than anyone. Have all your years as a
I'm a desert dweller and a proud follower of King Deshret.
It's not too late yet. The village keep...
You don't understand, my dear lady. Pursuing our faith is our purpose in life.
Even if it'll expose you to the academia? Even if they end up
Yes. We've waited a long time for this day to come. With these scholars in our custody.
Ridiculous. Think about if you still don't believe me, then try asking these two men. They're also against the academia, but
They look more like pawns of the academia to me. Filthy traitors. Your god...
It's impossible to communicate with someone. Perhaps we should.
Do you really believe that by kidnapping the scholars, you'll be able to negotiate with the academia? These people have no value as bargaining chips. But I could be persuaded. These scholars were exiled from the academia. I, on the other hand...
Wait, you can't be serious.
So, you want to trade places with the hostages?
Precisely. Any wise person...
What are you thinking? What if they decide to kill you instead?
Well, that would be bad luck for me. However, I'd get the chance to observe the scholars.
Think you can talk?
I'm not trying to persuade you. I'm using this as a means of...
You are the scribe. What do you have against the
Not all desert dwellers believe in King Deshret, and the same applies to the academia.
You academia scum.
Not so fast. I'll hate them. Do you stand by everything you just said? You know you're making a dangerous decision.
I do.
Good. Raman, hear me out. These people are my friends. Maybe you can't take the followers of the Dendro Archon at their word, but what about me? Do you
We've known each other for years.
In that case, I'm willing to vouch for their honesty with my right arm. Come on, Raman, don't be a coward. If you're serious about...
An arm from the Flame Mane. You've peeked. But what if you refuse to oblige? What should I do then? No one's a fool here, Dia. We're mercs.
You're not wrong, but this is different.
Let's do it right here then. Give me your right arm as proof of your resolve.
Don't listen to him! He's not even trying to—
That's fine.
Are you crazy?
We came here to save lives. One arm for that many people is still a pretty good deal, if you ask me.
Sure. Go ahead and cut off her right arm.
No! Dia! What are you gonna do? Think of something!
You don't have to go this far.
That's not for you to decide.
Do it!
Dia! Run!
Stop!
What's wrong? Can't—
Flame Mane, you and I are both desert folk. Cutting off your arm is no different than cutting off my own finger. You've shown me that you're serious. Go on now.
Phew. I was really counting on him not go-
Dia! That was
Then I just have to hold my claymore with my left arm. Okay, I'm sorry, but...
Don't ever make a promise like that again. I can deal with the likes if it came down to it. You would—
I don't doubt it, Sino. But this is about more than me and them. There's a lot more where they came from. Even if we got rid of one bunch of radicals...
I'm sorry, Dia. I should have stayed.
It's okay. I promised you I'd help find your
Whatever it takes? You just might be...
Huh? Are you serious?
The Eremites once said that I was a...
Why does it feel like he's using his praise for me as an excuse to brag about himself? Okay, let's get moving.
Every journey has its final day. Don't rush.
You're all here so early.
Looks like we have everyone here. Isak,
I'll watch from a safe distance.
Okay.
Dia, wait.
What's the matter?
I heard that you were quite reckless yesterday.
Fine.
Uh-oh. Is it because Paimon overslept by—
Is everything ready?
Absolutely. You brought fewer people than I imagined.
Bring him over.
Grandpa! Why is there only one—
Raman, I've always thought of you as a man of his word.
It's a one-for-one exchange. Sounds fair, don't you think? And let me put it this way. Agreeing to any kind—
You stay right there!
Wait, mate! What do you think you're doing?
Grandpa!
Don't you see this blade here?
You coward! Why are your hands shaking?
Wait a second! It's a earthquake!
This day's going just...
The sand dune collapsed. I saw an energy field. It glowed green with dendro. Just like you said, it may well... The dendro archon.
Grandpa? Grandpa!
Hey, look around you.
Did there used to be a temple here?
It seems that when the sand dune collapsed, the symbols on the gate belonged to King Deshret's civilization. It could have been an underground palace.
Oh, a miracle. Praise King!
What's he doing here?
They must have fallen down here with us. pretty... Most of them seem in really bad shape.
Mind your head.
No, this isn't the time for conflict. Our exalted lord has...
He's not actually gonna go...
As it happens, I want to take...
What are you doing?
Don't you think it's curious? 1 minute, Lesser Lord Kusanali's two major deities are vying to showcase their power.
Paimon thought you weren't interested in...
Indeed. And new discoveries are always worth investing.
Raman, what are you gonna do about your men?
I'll just let them lay here. King Deshret will take...
It's full of life here. This defies comprehension. It looked
Yeah! And there's so many plants. It's so pretty.
Sir Raman.
Huh?
Do you see another Raman?
Are you mocking me? What do you mean?
Interpret it however you want. But there's something I'd like to draw your attention to. While this structure is clearly left over from King Deshret...
Whatever you say. It's not like I have a vision.
There's nothing to be angry about. Think of this as an
It does seem kind of strange. If that's true, then...
There is no escape!
Settle down! Bow your head. Solidify!
That's that! Illusion shattered!
Settle down! Bow your head. Stabilize!
There is no escape!
Coming through!
Shine down!
Silence!
Now that's a sight to see. King Deshret's splendor surrounds us.
There's so much vegetation here. It's different than what I expected.
Sure are a lot of plants for a desert.
That's what I call divine providence of King Deshret.
It's getting brighter! Oh, it looks so beautiful!
Wait, what's that?
A load of flowers. And it looks like there's something among...
These are King Desh.
They left something behind.
What does it say?
Here lies our faithful priest Kasala. His wisdom is a miracle among the people, deserving of high praise and
You can read ancient King Deshret script?
Of course. Every student needs to master at least 20 languages.
He's not serious, right?
There's still something off about this place. The scent of life.
Is this it?
Analyzing.
There seems to be a hidden message among these skeletal remains. Excellent. There's a device from King Deshret's civilization in this gravesite.
Isn't sharing knowledge against the academia?
Yes. However, you'll understand after watching it.
Civilization is born of knowledge, but so too can knowledge be its demise. A disaster caught us unaware. It was knowledge that did not belong to this world. King Deshret brought this forbidden knowledge into our world, and it quickly spread like a plague. People's minds were filled with crazed whispers. Dark gray scales spread across their bodies. Even the land was stripped of its vigor. Only a desperate, deathly silence remained. Were it not for greater Lord Rukkhadevata from the forests, the damage would have been irreversible. She summoned the priests to build temples and infused into them the divine power of life. The disaster was miraculously tempered, and the embers of our civilization were preserved in Aru village. Alas, the miracle could not last. As long as forbidden knowledge continued to exist, it would forever blight this world. In the end, the proud king of the desert, my eternal lord, chose to sacrifice himself. I have spent my whole life since guarding one of these many temples. But now, my duty is coming to an end. As I close my eyes for the final time, the sight of that noble deity will appear in my vision once more. In helping King Deshret to eradicate forbidden knowledge, she exhausted her strength, and her form became that of a small child. How strange. Now that I think of her, I no longer have any fear of death, for I sense that the spirit of life will abide with me during my eternal sleep. Children of the desert, cling no longer to past grievances, but hold tight to the memory of this act of benevolence.
What was that?
The priest's memories.
No.
Greater Lord Rukkhadevata.
But this doesn't make any sense.
Was that the former Dendro Archon? He became...
You might be distrustful of the Akasha, but there's no reason for you to doubt King Desh. You've just witnessed his priest's last words.
I've never heard about any of this. The surviving followers of King Deshret all gathered in Aru village. Our god did not make mistake. King Deshret's death, the all but total annihilation of our civil... We saw her as nothing more than a traitor, who stabbed us in the back in our moment of crisis. Just like...
You were blinded by your prejudice.
If I hadn't seen this for myself, how could I ever begin to accept this? The truth is so far from what I've always known. Am I really supposed to...
Raman, that's enough. Give it a rest. You're starting to make a fool.
Dia, tell my Aramites and I. What?
Hey,
I'll live. I should probably go. Can't just...
What's your next move gonna be?
Oh, I know what you're going to ask. I feel deeply ashamed of everything I've done. But please, give me some time.
It's not gonna be easy.
Well, I guess that's for me to deal with. Dia, this is where our camp's located.
When would be a good time for us to go?
Tomorrow. I'll convince everyone that we're... And I'll return every last one of your your village keepers.
You seem to finally understand that our true enemy...
Yes. The gods never gave up on anyone.
That must have been rough, but he seemed...
Ramon's no fool. Being the leader of your own... It's too bad he was held back by his...
The outcome, at least...
We should get going too. Let's head back.
Sino,
we're leaving!
Stop yelling.
Raman,
Everything's been arranged. Someone will bring the village...
I guess all I can say now is... Thanks for...
Don't mention it. I think we can both agree. But we share a common cause now.
Where are the perpetrators?
I'll bring you to them. Follow me.
So these are the people who kidnapped the village keepers.
Oh no, it's the scribe!
There's no need to yell. No one can...
We've been all over the desert
That's right.
General Mahamatra? No, no! Make it quick!
Whoa. The moment they set eyes on Sino,
You should have known that I would be coming.
Wait, we were just following orders. You know what I'm talking about, right? There's no way we could have done all this by our...
No, not Sino. He's gonna tear us limb from limb.
I could do worse.
Please have mercy.
Start talking. Otherwise...
So, your superiors have kept you quite busy recently.
They, wanted to extract canned knowledge.
Don't play dumb. You know what they extract divine canned knowledge.
I don't really really don't know how—
Well, you better start talking or you'll be—
You don't want to make things any more difficult for yourself, do ya?
Be my guest.
Uh-huh. That sure didn't sound like a fancy metaphor.
How did you know?
There's no use hiding it now. Yes, you're right. The Academia is working on an important and potentially world-changing project. They are creating— It may seem as if Sumeru's academics are thriving, but the withering of Irminsul has been getting worse recently. The sages have tried everything they could think of, but nothing's worked. I'm always hearing them say things like, if—
Continue.
And then, someone from the Fatui showed up. They called him the Doctor. He brought a gnosis. The Doctor was previously expelled from the Academia. At first, the sages looked down at him in disdain. But when he asked them, "Do you wish to create a god?"
This is what the arrogant ignorance at the extreme end of it.
First, the Academia spent a long time constructing a divine vessel, which was based on an exquisite humanoid. After that, they harvested dreams via the Zeb-Zerus with the Doctor's help, and the Akasha now functioning at maximum efficiency. They were able to use it. Next, they decided that their new god—
It adds up.
But how do you determine whether the knowledge extracted is of
Call it an educated guess? The Academia has been trying to figure out the exact— Nobody can explain the cause of this phenomenon. Sure, if it's knowledge no mortal can comprehend, then—
You must have noticed by now. It is as if they are cursed with a desire for some organisms demonstrate phototaxis. This is but a form of phototaxis.
Then what does Lesser Lord Kusanali mean to you? Is she not a true god present in this world? If you already have a new god—
From the beginning, the Academia has never treated her as a god. When the Academia first discovered Lesser Lord Kusanali, they found that at the time, she possessed no more intelligence than any ordinary human child. The sages never had a root— Not to mention that Lesser Lord Kusanali's gnosis had been used to power the Akasha. Slowly but surely, people began to forget.
So,
All right, let's try to keep our cool. If everyone's in a— Raman, give me a few men to help us escort the—
Sure.
The village keepers you found have all been returned to their homes. Any—
yeah. Hey! Say something! Stop spacing out!
Come on, is there nothing left to talk about?
Or I can go fetch some—
Oh! Paimon!
do you have any plans, traveler?
Gods above, you're not talking about work, are you?
So you were still withholding some information?
Even though we lived through all of this firsthand, it still feels—
What a whirlwind of a story.
It seems like there'll be more issues to face in the—
Still, now's a good time to make our next move. Now that Raman's joined us,
It's time to make a plan.
Indeed. These events are a flagrant transgression of the rules in every sense.
So, everyone.
Crush the sages and rescue our god. That is our ultimate goal.
Well, let's brainstorm a little more about what other resources we can draw.
The next time we gather here, we must have a solid—
Yep! It'll work out.